Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be jumping back into
Warcraft Rumble.
yeah, that video. Taking a look at PvP, specifically Baron Rivendare. He seems to be dominating PvP right now, and I have a very cool and fun deck that I took from one of my guildies, and it's working out really well, and I'm having a blast with it. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. But first, before we do, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we're going to go over the deck that I'm using currently. It's a little twist on actually what you're going to see in gameplay, but it works both ways. And also, like I said, this is something that one of my guildmates suggested, so I was playing around with it, and I'm having a lot of fun. Rivendare, you see him a lot in PvP, especially once you get towards the higher ranks. A lot of people are playing him, and he's a lot of fun. And the reason for that is because of this right here. You go to his leader ability. Right now, I don't even have any talents in him, and he's doing really well. There we go. Army of the Dead. Now, this is awesome because this is a passive ability of Rivendare. You don't even need to play him. You just need to have him in your deck, and you're going to spawn these skeletons on buildings that you control. So it works really well, just continually spawning characters in the game so that you can continue to flood and do consistent damage and really kind of make your opponent scramble trying to take care of all these different ads. So that's the biggest thing. That's the coolest thing about him. Again, you don't even need to play him. He's not the tankiest. You can play him. He moves fairly quick, which is great. He can get to those chests and stuff really quick. He can get to the other side of the board really quick. And he's okay as far as damage done and taken. But really what makes him shine so much is those skeletons that summon. Now the rest of my deck, I have the Ghoul. The Ghoul is a self-healing tank. Does really well, fairly tanky. So I use him quite a bit. We have the Necromancer here. Necromancer is great. Summons his underlings here. If we just take a look at this right here. He summons skeletons. But he pierces through armor and he causes elemental damage with his shadow bolts. So those enemies that you're going up against that are really, really tanky against physical attacks, he does really well with. Now, one change I made was this skeleton party. I really like it because it's an unbound. I swear almost every deck needs at least one unbound character. And what that means is that unbound can be placed anywhere on the board. There's an area around your opponent's tower that you can't place them. However, being able to place something anywhere on the board is absolutely phenomenal. So this is a really good character for that. So it's a frosty surprise for any location. So it's squad, it's ranged, it's melee, a little combination of both. It does quite a bit of damage to your opponent's towers. Safe, one of the best, I swear. She's one of the best characters in the game. Love her. What I use her for mainly is to take care of maybe some of the smaller ads when there's a big group of them. A lot of the times, though, you'll see that I use her to capture the chest on the other side of the board first, so that I can try and grab both chests, so I can get that gold, because the more gold you get, the more characters you're going to be able to throw out there, right? The more minis. So she is absolutely a necessity. Blizzard helps out quite a bit, and the reason for this is this has helped out a couple ways. Really burning down a bunch of ads when somebody really spams a bunch of minis, or it helps me kind of knock down the tower. If I don't really need it for burning down minis, if I'm holding my own fairly well, every now and then I'll throw it on the tower, or at the end when they just got a sliver, I'll throw it on the tower to capture the match there. So it works out really well, does quite a bit of damage. And then the Harpies do really well, doing damage to melee characters, and it spawns 3 at a time. They are not the tankiest, but they do a fair amount of damage, and it helps clear the battlefield, so it helps out quite a bit. So that is my deck, working very, very well. Average level right now is 10.4, as you can see. Average cost 3.4. Want to keep that below 4 if you can, just because once you start getting higher like that, you really start throwing minis out much, much slower, and then it's easy to be overwhelmed. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and show some gameplay of one of the battles that I pre-recorded, and we're going to walk through that so that I can show you how I use this deck. So let's go ahead and check that out. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. This will be interesting, doing commentary on my gameplay. We'll see how it works out. All right, so here's a match with the Rivendare. deck. The only difference here is I have whelps. So what I try and do is grab that chest right there up at the top with safe, throw out a miner to grab that mine, and then throw out Rivendare or another tank. As soon as I get those whelps eggs, I'm going to drop those whelp eggs out. Whelp eggs are really good because they're kind of a trap. You set them down and melee characters walk over them, it spawns 3 whelps, and they do a fair amount of damage there. So you'll see, trying to figure out kind of what to do here. I think I'm going to leave them alone there. We throw out some harpies to try and take care of some of that. But that's how I set it up. And then every now and then, you'll see me go to the tower to the right. I'll drop like a ghoul over there, or I'll drop Rivendare over there, so that I can just kind of keep the front going. I don't typically go for that tower up on the upper left. Sometimes I will, but not most of the time. Here we go with save to get rid of some of that, and then we can move forward over there. As soon as I get that miner up, I'm going to throw the miner out, and then just kind of check the battle out from here on out. So as we're working through this, yep, trying to get rid of those people underneath that bridge there. I'll throw out some more whelps there. You'll see them attack the whelps, and then, like I said, they'll do a fair amount of damage. Right now, I don't have anything. I don't have anything talented in this deck specifically. So once we start adding talents to it, I'll do another video to show it, because I think talents, are very, very cool. It adds just another dimension to building your decks, and it changes the gameplay style of your characters, and I think it's really cool. All right, so we're going to throw out that blizzard, try and knock that out. What I'm trying to do is get rid of all these little ones so I can get my team to push up north there. If I remember correctly, this one is a bit of a lengthy one. These guys are a little nasty. These Dark Iron Dwarf mages, they do quite a bit of damage. I'll have to play around with them a little bit. Those whelps also, I will try and put them on each lane when they pop up, especially if I don't have anything specific to throw out. In this one here, I don't have my skeleton party, which at this point, if I did, I would throw one up on the very top just to do some additional damage, especially since you can see up here in the middle, they're focused on that character, that ghoul that was up there. And then while they're focused on that, you're going to do some damage. I think one of the key things about PvP here is that anytime you can redirect your opponent, redirect their attention, their characters, their minis' attention in one direction so you can attack from behind, I think that is key to success in this. All right, so it looks like we're doing some good damage up at the top, just checking out the board right here. I've got things set up pretty nice. I've got Rivendare and the whelps over there on the left. We're going into some overtime. Overtime, I just tend to throw shit out, to be completely honest with you. Obviously, I'll be as strategic as possible, but as quick as we're getting gold, I'll throw a lot of the heavy tankers out, a lot of the casters. I won't do a whole lot of mining for gold, because I think it's kind of a waste when you go into overtime, just because you're generating gold so quickly. I don't know if I'm going to use the blizzard on the tower this time around, but that's a good strategy that I've used to really kind of burn it down, especially once you get into the overtime mode. But you can just see, just constantly, this deck constantly pushes up against your opponent. There we go. There's the blizzard, yeah. Oh, just short, just short. Oh, there we go. And we got it. Once you get that 10 seconds left, you just start automatically losing health. So that's also a good thing to keep in mind as well. As long as you're ahead in damage, and if you go all the way down to the wire like that, you start automatically losing your health, then you're going to win that anyway. So that was a really good battle. I thought that was good to share on how I use that deck. I think really the key is the setup in a lot of these decks, right? So I want to get that chest on the other side of the bridge, get the chest on my side of the bridge, get the miner out, get a tank out, and in the middle and on that far right, and then just kind of go from there. You really got to feel it out from there, right? Again, an Unbound, I think in this situation would have worked really, really well. The skeleton party specifically. There's also the Earth Elemental that works really well. You can throw out over there. That's an Unbound mini. I swear, like I was saying earlier, Unbound works out really well. I don't know that I would do a full deck of Unbound, maybe. I haven't played around with it yet, but at least having 1 or 2 in your deck, very, very useful. Makes your deck very, very versatile and just gives you a whole lot of options. So that's what I had for you. This deck, not necessarily this one in particular, but there's variations of this deck. I've seen a few different looks of it, but Rivendare himself is doing very, very well in PvP, and you may find yourself in quite a few mirror matches. Very curious on your thoughts. What do you think of Rivendare? Are you using somebody else other than him that's working really, really well for you? Because there's some other leaders that I really like as well, so we'll do some videos on that also. But that's what I had for you. Very curious on your thoughts. I would love to hear tips and tricks that you have for PvP, because PvP is fun in this game. I don't know. There's been quite a few games I've played with PvP, and I don't have as much fun in those games as I do as this one. All right, I'm rambling on. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.